What's up, it's cinemashogun here, and it's pretty common these days to hear someone, including myself, label something or someone as satanic or demonic. Now, when you hear that, most people naturally automatically think about religion, and rightfully so, but often when it comes to some people like myself, when I call something or someone satanic or demonic, it's not because I'm taking a religious approach. It's usually because something is just blatantly satanic or demonic. I'm not a really religious person. I talk about this all the time. I grew up going to church, but I'm not a really religious dude. Okay? I'm open in my beliefs and I'm still searching for what I really believe in. I'm just on a path of trying to gain as much knowledge and stuff in this lifetime that I possibly can. And I don't know what to believe and what not to believe. But often when you hear something labeled as satanic, there's a huge portion of people that automatically write it off because they think, oh, this is just a religious nut. This is just some type of someone, with this religion or that religion, and they label everything satanic and everything demonic. And I'll admit, there is a overabundance of people slapping this label on everything, but some things are, like I said, just blatantly satanic. And I try to make this point all the time. It doesn't matter what you believe in. I know a lot of you, or some of you, may not believe in God, but just because you don't believe in God doesn't mean that other people don't. Obviously, you know that regardless if you believe in God or Jesus or whatever religious figure, you know that there are huge portions of our society that do. The same thing goes with Satan. You don't have to believe in Satan and you don't have to believe in God to acknowledge that something is satanic and to acknowledge that there are people who worship Satan. And I think it's been blatantly obvious for years that there is a very satanic agenda going on in our world today. The powers that be, they used to try to hide this. You used to have to read between the lines. You would have to know about the certain, symbolisms, the symbols, and you would have to know about the occult. You would have to know about certain rituals. You would have to be in the know about these things to spot this stuff back in the day. But in recent history, they're not trying to hide it anymore. Yet when you call it out, when you label something satanic, it's like you're automatically written off. They say, oh, it's the new age satanic panic. And a lot of people just automatically try to write it off, even though it's blatantly in their face. Why do they do this? I don't know. Some people are just in denial. And like I said, some people believe oh, you have to believe in God. You have to be religious yourself to acknowledge that there are people who worship Satan with a satanic agenda who seem to be kind of pulling the strings in today's world. People don't understand that you don't have to be religious to acknowledge this. And that's one of the reasons why this is just written off. People just act as if it's not happening. They turn a blind eye towards it. But it's happening, folks. It's all around us. They've become emboldened. A couple of years ago, people listening to this rant that I'm on right now would label me this, they would label me that, they would act like I was so crazy. What are you talking about, you conspiracy theorist? Yet here we are in the year of 2023, and now there's a push There's a push to push these satanic clubs into elementary schools around the country. Folks, I would expect something like this. I would expect a satanic club, a club for Satan, a club for Satan worshipers. That's something that you may expect in college. Hell, I mean, it's 2023. Yeah, you would probably see it in high school. You know, we had the goth kids and, you know, the emos. You had your dark kids. You had your kids who thought they worshiped Satan to be edgy back in the day. But folks, we're not talking about college. We're not even talking about high school. Elementary school. Elementary school. Kids as young as 4 years old. Kids no older than what, 10 or 11? And now in Memphis, Tennessee, they've just ushered in a new satanic after-school program inside of an elementary school. Yet we're told we're crazy. Oh, it's satanic panic. You're a conspiracy theorist. You're a religious nut for thinking this is satanic. Oh, you crazy Christians. You crazy Catholics. You crazy this and that. And when we preach that there's this satanic agenda in Hollywood and coming from Washington, D.C., people act as if it's not real. As if we're just working ourselves up for nothing. Oh, you guys have nothing to worry about. Why are you always flipping out about something? Why are you so concerned about things that would never happen? Well, these things aren't happening. They deny that these things are happening. But yet, here we are. But just so you have a better understanding of what I'm talking about, this may blow some of your minds, and others you saw this coming from miles away like I did. But I want to roll this clip so you have an understanding of what I'm talking about here. And then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
A new after-school club has parents of Memphis Shelby County School students concerned after learning the club is sponsored by the Satanic Temple. Hello, I'm Stephanie Skurlock. Greg is off tonight, but the club's director says they have every right to operate just like any other club. WREG's Ashley Paul breaks it all down for us. Ashley?
Steph, the after-school Satan Club will launch at Chimney Rock Elementary School in Cordova next month, despite concerns from parents. And according to district leaders, there's not much they can do about it.
We don't want God in schools. We definitely don't need or want Satan in schools.
Parents of students at Chimney Rock Elementary School alarmed and concerned today after this flyer began making the rounds announcing a new after-school club.
Me and my whole family, we attend church, so this was a big shocker for me for this to be coming to my daughter's school.
Beginning January 10th, the After-School Satan Club, sponsored by the Satanic Temple, will begin meeting at the school's library. It's the organization's 5th active club in the nation, and campaign director June Everett says it started after she was contacted by MSC as parents expressing interest.
Members of the Satanic Temple are non-theistic Satanists, so they don't believe in an actual real Satan.
Everett explains the club can only operate in schools that have other religious clubs so like-minded people can come together. She says they don't actually discuss satanic teachings, but they do activities that are inspired by satanic beliefs.
We can take Satan and view Satan and this creature and this, character however we'd like. We don't have to believe Satan as this evil deity.
A statement from Memphis Shelby County Schools reads in part, quote, "As a public school district, we're committed to upholding the principles of the First Amendment, which guarantees equal access to all nonprofit organizations seeking to use our facilities after school hours. This means we cannot approve or deny an organization's request based solely on its viewpoints or beliefs," end quote. But parents like Dennis say they still aren't comfortable.
I feel that if possible, maybe a community center or something like that would be more fit. I don't feel that it should be in the scene where they learn. If they don't want prayer in schools, they shouldn't have this Satan club.
Now, some parents we spoke with discussed the possibility of removing their children from the district because of this. Meanwhile, as the school mentioned, the club is protected under the First Amendment, so the school must allow it to move forward. Reporting live, I'm Ashley Paul, WREG News, Channel 3.
In my opinion, I don't think that religion is something that should really be in school. I think kids should be learning about math, basic math problems, history, English, learning how to read and write, things like that. I don't want religion really mixed up in school. But, I remember when I was going to school, that's when this debate started about saying God in school. About saying the Pledge of Allegiance, because the word God was in the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, personally, like I said, I don't need religion all in my schools. Now, if you go to a private religious school, cool. And if I had to choose between the two, yeah, bring God back into school. Keep Satan far away, right? But it's obvious that they pushed God out of school. They pushed any mention of God out of school. And they said that they were doing it to be inclusive. There are all these other kids here that aren't religious or maybe practice other religions. So let's take God out of school. God has no place in school. These kids need to learn. That's what the argument used to be. But that was never the real agenda. That was never the end game. The end game was not to take God out of school so everyone would be on this equal playing field where their religion wasn't favored or this religion wasn't favored or this prophet or that prophet wasn't mentioned. The end game was to take God and religion, or at least like the Christian religion, out of school in order to usher in this new age weird stuff, basically. When it comes to the hyperfixation on race, when it comes to the hyperfixation on gender and sexuality, these weirdos have replaced religion with that. That's their religion. So you may go to church on Sunday, you may believe in Jesus, you may believe in this, you may believe in that, right? Humans, we all want something to cling to. So a lot of humans who aren't really religious, who reject certain religions, they've accepted this new religion into their heart. The religion of, and I know a lot of people hate this word, but it's the only one word that really encapsulates it all. Encapsulates it. But it's like this new age woke religion. The hyperfixation on sexuality, the hyperfixation on race, and just a sprinkle, just a tad bit of Satan, right? Because at the end of the day, I think all of it is somewhat part of an overall satanic agenda. And remember, like I was explaining at the beginning of this video, when I say that there's a satanic agenda, it's not me being overly like religious, just, smacking the satanic label on anything I can. No, it's because they are openly satanic. I mean, what's more open than having a satanic school program in an elementary school? It's open and out there. It's open and out there. So we know what their game always was. It was to take God out of the school so we could issue and usher in our stuff. Our messed up, weirdo, freako-ish, basically. So you can't pray in school. You can't say God in school. But hey, we have a secret closet to where you can change into girls' clothing or boys' clothing. We'll refer to you as a different gender. We'll pump your head full of hatred for other races. And then at the end of the day, we'll all gather around and we'll worship Satan at our after-school program. Parents, public schools, the public school system has turned into an indoctrination camp. It's an indoctrination camp. And folks, this is in Tennessee. In Tennessee, of all places. So if you think it ain't going to happen near you, then you're an idiot. If this is happening in Tennessee, this is already happening in the South, where a lot of people take their religion very seriously. Then what do you think is happening in California, in Oregon, in Colorado, wherever the hell you're at? It's coming if it's not already there. And it's just so crazy that for years, it was, oh, you're saying something satanic, oh, it's a conspiracy, you religious nut, and all of that stuff. But here we are. We know what the end game is. This is what the end game always was. And I can tell you one thing. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish here exactly. Obviously, it's nothing good. But as someone who describes myself as not very religious, when I see stuff like this, it pushes me closer to God. The last couple of years have been really interesting to me. Because as someone who has questions about things, the last couple of years have showed me that evil, it exists. Not only does it exist, but it exists on a whole nother level than a lot of people understand. If anything, it feels like the last few years have proven that Satan is real. And if he's real, God must be real. If there's this much bad and evil in the world, then there has to be an opposite force. So, in this drive to do whatever wicked, nasty, weirdo, creepo stuff that they're trying to do, I feel like they're driving people like me closer to God. And I know that's not the effect that they want to have on people. They want to indoctrinate young minds. They want to pull young people in the wrong direction. But at the same time, they're pushing other people in the opposite direction. And I guess the question is, how long do we allow things like this to happen? I'm okay with the freedom of speech. I'm totally okay. Like, if you want to worship Satan, you want to be a Satanist, you want to go to the satanic temple, you want to do your little Satan thing, I'm okay with that. Do what you want to do on your own time as an adult. Do whatever you want to do. But you don't do that in public schools. And if God has been taken out of public schools, how in the hell is Satan allowed to march right in? And what in the F is even going on in our society to where this is even happening? How the hell did we get here? I used to go to an after-school program called Prime Time because my mother would work and I couldn't go home right after school. So she would pick me up maybe an hour and a half after school, and we would chill in this after-school program. We would do our homework, and we would eat a little snack, maybe some animal freaking crackers. Fridays, we would watch a movie. Now, after school, 6 and 7-year-olds are doing satanic rituals at public elementary schools. Like I said, folks, the satanic agenda is blatantly in your face. Regardless of who or what you believe in, it's there. And it doesn't look like people are really doing much to stop it. Let me know your thoughts, though, down in the comments below. While you're down there, if you're feeling generous and you want to support the channel, you could do so via Cash App. I will have my Cash App in the pinned comment of this video, or you can donate to the channel via Super Thanks. But make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and all of that good stuff. And I'll talk to you all soon in the next video.